out the armhole. Okay, the neckline is going to be 2 inches by 2 inches because it's the neck circumference of 12 inches. Okay, for a 7-year-old. So I'll just mark that here. I'm just going ahead to mark my 2-inch width by 2-inch depth. And I'll link up my dots. So the full length of the dress is 30 inches, but we're not using 30 inches because we want to add pleats at the bottom. So we're going to take away 7 inches for that pleat. So it's going to be 30 minus 7. That's 23 inches. So we're going to make the full length 23 inches. Okay, don't forget your shoulder slant. I already have a video on how to make a bodice pattern for children. I'll link that video in the description. So we're going to measure out 23 inches. Mark that there. Or the chest circumference for the chest circumference for this project is 26 inches. So we're going to impute quarter of 26 inches on the chest area, and that's 6.5. We're going to impute that here. Okay, I will go ahead and add 1.5 for our seam allowance. So that's a total of 8 inches. Now we're going to mark that same 8 inches at the bottom of the dress. When we mark that, we'll now go ahead and add 4 inches to that. Then from that 4-inch point, we're going to draw a straight line from that point all the way to the armhole. And to do the halter neck, we'll just measure from the shoulder to the top of the chest. Okay, whatever measurement you get, you apply that here. So for this project, I'm using 4.5. So just mark 4.5 there. Then you're going to draw a straight line from that point, from the armhole side, to connect to the neckline. That's it for the pattern. We'll just cut it out now. Remember that this pattern is for both front and back. So I'm just going to trim out the back neckline. So when I cut the back pattern, I will now cut out the front neckline and use it to cut the front pattern. Measure 8 inches, okay? So 1 inch is going to be our seam allowance, and the full length is 7 inches. So that's what I've just measured that there. So next we're going to draft the pattern for the collar. And to do that, we'll just mark a straight line to act as a guide. Then we're going to mark half of the neck circumference. So the neck circumference is 12 inches. I want to mark half of that here. So we'll just mark 6 inches on this point. So mark 6 inches, and that's the start point. So this start point is going to be our center front, and this is going to be the center back. So derive the midpoint, that's 3 inches, mark that there. So at the front, you're going to raise this front bit by 0.75. Okay, you can raise it by ½ inch or 0.75. Okay, then you now link that slightly into this midpoint and towards the center back. So that's it. Now determine the length of the collar. So for this collar, we're going to use 1 inch. When I did the adult collar, I did 1.5. But this one, since it's for a child, I'm just using 1 inch. You can use 0.75 if you wish. That will also come out beautiful. So I'm just going to link up my dots. So from that straight line there, which is our center front, we just go in by 0.25. Then you connect that to the center front, okay, and link that up to the front, to the top, and that's it. Our collar is ready. We'll just go ahead and add ½ inch seam allowance all round, and we're going to add 1 inch for our closure allowance at the back. So we're going to cut on fold. You just cut 1 piece because you're cutting on fold. Then we'll now cut 1 piece of our lining. So before I start sewing this, I need to first create the space for my closure at the back. Then I'll cut there. After cutting through that, we'll cut another strip of fabric. So it's important to cut this in bias form, okay, so that it will be a bit stretchy. So when you've cut that out, you now place it here. So you're going to place it at that middle point. Place it there. You're going to sew, okay. When you get there, you make a notch, then you turn it, okay, like that, until you've sewn on that part. So when you finish, when you've done the stitch, then you now turn this piece the other way like that, and you're going to do you're going to sew also. So on this collar, I've also gone ahead to fuse my interfacing on the lining. So we have 2 pieces of the lining and 1 piece of our lace fabric, okay. So what you do here is just to place this lace on the lining. So we have 2 pieces of the lining because it's a lace fabric, so it's see-through. But if it's a fabric that does not require a lining, but if your fabric is not see-through, you don't need 2 lining. You just need your fabric and the facing. Once you've placed it like that, you're now going to place the other one on it like this, okay. Then you sew at the top. Next thing I want to do is to sew the sides, okay. So I'm going to sew them individually. You sew the lining first, then you now sew the lace, okay. So I'll just place the 2 linings together like that, and I'm going to sew the sides So just start from that point and sew to the bottom, and on the other side as well, you're going to start from there and sew to the bottom. Okay, when we've done that, then we'll now sew the lace too. We'll sew them together as well. So place the front and the back piece of the lace, and you're going to sew on the two sides. Okay, so I've sewn this side. So what you need to do now is to flatten out this seam. Just give it a good press so that it will relax nicely. Do that on both the lace and the lining. Then when you've done that, you pass your lining through on the fabric like that, on your lace, because you're going to sew up the armhole before you start working on the neckline. So this is how it's going to be when it's finished. Okay, so now what we want to do is to sew the armhole. Okay, so to sew the armhole, we need to turn it the wrong way out. Spread out the armhole. You're going to align the lace and the lining on the armhole. Pin it in place nicely. So when you pin it like that, you're going to sew there. Okay. Turn to the other side too, and you're going to sew it. Okay, so it's from the side of the neckline all the way through the armhole like that, and to the side of the back as well, like that. Okay. After sewing that up, you have to turn it inside out. So next we'll work on the collar. So this collar is ready here. It's just to attach it to the dress. So we need to fold and get out our center front. So then you fold the dress as well. Get the center front too. Then you're going to pin them like that. So that's the front now done. Then you proceed to the back. So at the back here, you fold like that. So what you need to do at the back is to tuck this part in. Okay, you can turn it the wrong way and sew it there so that you close it up. Okay, then you flip it to the right side before you pin it onto the back piece. Okay. So I've now sewn the back. Okay, I've now done the straight stitch and I've turned it inside out. So we'll now attach that piece to the back. So next we'll just sew around this collar. So that's the neck all done now, all ready. Okay, So at the back here, we're going to use a hook and eye. You just sew on your hook and eye, and that's what we'll use to close that part. Okay, and this side will be open just like a keyhole. So now we'll finish up the bottom, and we'll just sew it only on the lining piece. So bring out the lining. We're going to sew the lace onto it.